My friend turned my wedding into a contest because of her jealousy.
Well, did you win?
I, 26 female, have been struggling with something that happened around my wedding, and I can't tell if I handled things wrong or if I'm only now seeing what was always there. By the way, this comes from Mountain Material 55, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Carly.
I'm Savannah.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do. Let us know what you would do in the comments. NOP says, Melissa, 24 female, and I met in college. I was 21 and she was 19. We had this chaotic professor whose class bonded everyone through shared misery, and from there, Melissa and I became inseparable. We hung out constantly and told each other everything. Over the years, I supported her through a lot. I was there when she cheated on her fiance.
I mean, good for you.
When he found out and got aggressive, when she left him, and when she started dating the guy she'd cheated with.
Ooh, maybe not support this friend. I don't know. That's just my take on it.
I was also there when she found out she was pregnant, and I cried when I got to hold her baby boy for the first time. When she dropped out of college to move back in with her mom 45 minutes away, we still made time for each other. FaceTiming, visiting on weekends, and staying close. I finished my bachelor's, started my master's, and life got busier, but I never thought that distance had caused tension between us. Then I got engaged to my boyfriend of 7 years, someone I'd been with long before I even met Melissa, and it just felt natural to ask her to be my maid of honor. I even asked if her son could be my ring bearer, which made her so happy. The wedding was still 14 months away, so I thought we had plenty of time to plan and enjoy everything. At first, things were great, but then she started making comments that started to throw me off. She said my engagement ring was too small and not special, that it looked like my fiance just picked the first one he saw. For context, he actually had it custom made at a local jeweler after spending weeks finding the right design, small, dainty, and simple, exactly what I'd always shown him that I liked. It wasn't big, but it meant a lot to me. Then she'd start pushing her own ideas onto my bachelorette plans. I told her from the beginning that I didn't want to go out clubbing or have spicy dancers. I'm more of a homebody. I had booked out a big Airbnb so we could hang out, smoke, drink, play games, and have a relaxed weekend. She kept insisting we go to bars anyway and seemed frustrated when I stuck to what I wanted. She also kept ranting to me about how unsupportive the other bridesmaids were. Nothing they did satisfied her, and she constantly tried to make herself seem like a better friend, even though she was already the maid of honor. She even got upset over me smoking with the other bridesmaids at the bachelorette because she doesn't smoke and wanted to do something with everybody.
I don't know, maybe smoke.
No, she does not have to do that.
Yes, you do.
Maybe don't be pushing everyone to go to bars. You have games to play at this shared Airbnb. Sounds fun.
There's just there's so many other things to do. And to be like, I'm left out and it's not even my weekend. Make it about me.
This was super late at night, and we had stepped outside to smoke for 10 minutes in between games as everyone was grabbing snacks or refilling drinks. She also started acting weirdly cold towards me after she found out that I lean conservative politically. She brought up politics one day and started ranting about something, and when I respectfully gave my perspective, she got upset. Before that, we'd never even talked about politics. There were also weird moments leading up to the wedding. She forgot about one of my bridal showers and then got upset when I wouldn't let her bring her son at the last minute. For my other shower, I did let her bring him, but she didn't really watch him, and he broke a few decorations. I tried to interact with him, but he was cranky and overwhelmed from the long drive. Afterward, she texted that she felt some type of way that I didn't spend more time with her son.
Literally what? Are you the babysitter at your own bridal shower? I don't understand.
I apologized, but also gently reminded her that it was my shower and I had to entertain other guests. When the wedding got closer, my fiance's parents paid for the cabins near the venue for the bridal party. I told Melissa that there was a room for her, but not her son. I didn't go into detail, but honestly, we'd planned for that night to be adults only. Okay. Drinking, smoking, staying up late, and I didn't think that was an environment for a kid. I'll admit I didn't tell her that reasoning because she has a habit of ignoring boundaries and bringing her son anyway. 8 days before the wedding, she called to say her son wouldn't be walking down the aisle after all, that he wouldn't do it, especially for strangers, and that my fiance and I had not been spending enough time with her son. She said she was worried he'd act out and ruin the day. She also said she felt left out because of him. I was caught off guard, but I just listened and I told her I understood. I didn't argue, even though it hurt a little, and my cousin stepped in as replacements, who my fiance wanted originally anyway, but I insisted on her son because of the bond I thought we had. On the day of the wedding, she spent most of the morning showing me videos of her son while we were trying to get ready. Her husband and son still came but arrived late, which caused the entire ceremony to pause for them to be seated. After the ceremony, when it was time to sign the marriage license, she apparently stood behind us ready to sign as a witness, but I had already asked another bridesmaid to do it. That's so awkward.
Oh.
People told me later that Melissa looked annoyed and didn't smile in any of the pictures, even the ones from earlier that morning. After the wedding, things got really distant. I texted her like I always had, but every conversation became one-sided. She only talked about herself or her son and never asked about me, my new husband, or anything going on in my life. I started realizing she had always been that way. I just hadn't noticed before. To add to all of this, she had a quick courthouse wedding to her baby's father last December. I took and edited all her photos for free, and I even signed as her witness.
That's huge, because that saved her a fortune.
My fiance couldn't come because it was such short notice, literally a random Thursday, but I showed up for her anyway. And by the way, you guys should always show up and listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcasts, search up OK Storytime. We've got a little bit left, but what are your thoughts?
I mean, this girl just seems like she's a narcissist. She just wants to make it about herself, which, like, you know, fine. If you could deal with that, deal with it. But, like, I don't know. I can't. I distance myself from those people because it's just annoying to, like, you know, you have to ask about them. You have to hear what they're doing. You have to hear all the trouble that they're having. They're like those people that, like, never, like, are really happy. They just, like, complain about everything and then are like, yeah, everything sucks. Then you're like, oh, well, then you're unhappy. They're like, what? No, I'm not. It's like, oh, I don't know. Okay, never mind. Sorry. And then, like, they argue with you. It's like, I don't know what you want from me. I'm listening to your stuff. I'm asking you questions. I'm trying to be interested, but I'm really not because you don't ask anything about me.
Yeah, and at the beginning, she was like, I don't know if she's always been this way. Sounds like she's always been this way. You, like, answered your own question there.
And also, especially, like, throughout the years, not, like, being able to, like, see each other and, like, going through all these changes of marriage and new family and like,
People
you know.
grow and change.
Yeah, it just
Maybe
happens.
she was cool in college.
Yeah, and that happens.
Her ring was a big blue stone that looked more like costume jewelry, which she loved at first. But recently she's been saying she wants to redo her wedding to look like mine, even though it's not her style at all. And get a smaller ring like mine because it's cuter.
Oh, remember when she was like, this is small, dainty, and stupid.
That's insane. Now it feels like we're strangers. I've supported her through so many major moments in her life, but when it was my turn to have something special, she seemed jealous, judgmental, and passive-aggressive. So Reddit, am I the a-hole for not trying harder to fix the friendship after my wedding? Or was I blind to the fact that it was already one-sided and I'm just now seeing it for what it was? You're not the a-hole for not trying to continue this. I feel as though it may have been one-sided for longer than you think, but like that doesn't really change the fact that you're not an a-hole for not wanting to hang out with her.
Yeah, I mean, people grow up, people change, and especially when you don't see them for a while, like, sometimes they change for good, sometimes they change for bad, you know? You can't control how they are, but if this person isn't serving you or isn't, you know, like, giving you, like, a positive influence on your life and is just always, like, tearing you down or making you feel negative and whatnot, then you don't have to be friends with them. I don't know.
It's okay. Just start distancing at the very least and see what happens.
Yeah, maybe like start low contact and kind of just go from there. If it seems like, everything you do is wrong, you're walking on eggshells, for this friendship, then I don't know. It's really not worth it in my opinion. And plus she like lives, 45 minutes away, so it's not like you'll like see her around, really. I slept with my best friend. Then he told me he wanted to keep his options open.
I mean, that's kind of fair of him, right? He's being honest.
Growing up, my 24 female best friend, 23 male, and I have always had chemistry. We became best friends in study hall and have had feelings for each other randomly throughout our friendship, but never really acted on things in fear of ruining the friendship besides a kiss. By the way, this comes from Affectionate Repair 7. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Savannah.
I'm Carly.
And we are here to give some good advice, goofily. We do not have all of the answers. We don't need to tell you what we would do in this situation, but let us know what you would do in the comments. As OP says, last year we finally decided to give a relationship a try. We dated for 6 months and ended up breaking up because we were worried about getting in so deep that we'd never be able to go back to being friends if things went wrong.
You guys are driving me nuts already.
Yeah, I already hate this.
Like, we've liked each other on and off for our whole friendship. Nothing ever happened. But that one time we did kiss, and this other time we tried dating.
We tried dating, but then we were like, oh, wait, but what about our friendship?
Pick one. Either try it or don't.
There you go. We gave each other space and things have been good. Last night we went to a concert and ended up talking for hours about our friendship and relationship. We talked about how sometimes we still think we'll end up together. Wow. How romantic. By the end of the night, we ended up making out and hooking up. He drove me home the next day and we planned to hang out later this weekend. Felt really nice and natural. He said the same. Part of me feels stupid thinking he still may be the person I'm supposed to end up with. I don't want to ever lose him, though. I also wonder if any of that meant anything to him or if it was just spicy sleep. I guess any input or insight would be nice, and there are some comments. Comment number 1. Why the heck are you both trying so hard to keep your distance from someone you obviously love? How do you think most relationships start? Yeah, maybe it doesn't work out. Same could happen to your friendship anyway. Stop torturing yourselves and just go for it. Unless you're just saving up for the next time you have a go at this whole life thing. Comment number 2 says, the reason for why you broke up is so stupid in my opinion. Just go along with the relationship. Nothing is gonna go wrong. You both are attracted to each other and have great chemistry. Why bother staying lifelong friends when you can potentially be lifelong partners?
Right. Because also, how awkward is that when one of them gets a partner or something and it's like, here's my best friend. I still think we might end up together forever, but you're here for now.
Like, we're supposed to end up together, but just not right now. Maybe in the future. I don't know. Only the stars will tell. It's like, do you want to be together or not? OP replies, I just feel like we have a lot to lose, and I really don't want to get hurt. He's a very logical person and has never said I love you romantically to anyone. We have said I love you to each other since we were kids. I'm just worried he'll never be in love with me.
He hasn't told anybody that he loves them his entire life, except for you. And you're like, what if he never loves me?
I just were you not there when you typed that sentence? I don't understand. Did someone else type it and then you finished the sentence? Because in those last 3 sentences, it was he never said he loved me. But then, ever since we were little, he said he loved me, but I don't know if he's in love with me. OP, you're exhausting. I'm sorry, but get a grip. Comment number 3. If you have this kind of friendship of the opposite gender, it is disrespectful to maintain it after getting in a serious relationship anyways. You guys obviously have feelings for each other, and no boyfriend or girlfriend would feel comfortable with their partner hanging out all the time with someone they've had spicy sleep with. Be with him. Let your relationship happen naturally. Never knowing if you could have been something more is more of a tragedy than losing it by exploring deeper. OP replies, I think that's a big reason why we ended things too. I want him to be in my life forever. We have both said this. I could see him being with my future children's godparent.
No, you want them to be your future children's father.
Yeah,
that is what you want.
We both thought that if we ended it where we did, with it still being pretty new, that our future partners probably wouldn't mind. What? OP, you want to be together, but then you're like, well, I don't know. If he wants to go see other people, like, he can, and maybe I want to do that as well. But, like, in the end, I think we're going to choose each other. Why
Just
not?
date him.
Yeah, just date. Just date. I don't understand the big, like, this is, like, hurting my brain to try to comprehend. Oh, there's an update. The next day, I ended up celebrating the Super Bowl with him. It was an amazing time, especially being from Kansas City. We acted like a couple the whole time, and things felt really natural. We won and had amazing spicy sleep. I woke up to him holding me, looking at me. It was sweet. I got ready for work and kissed him goodbye. We agreed to talk more about things that Friday. Well, it's Friday, and I just got home. I'm going to be honest, I think he's confused.
I think you're both confused.
Literally, what could you be confused about? It's been, what, a day? I don't know. I don't know what. No, Super Bowl's on Sunday. So it's been
about a week.
Okay, almost a week. I think he's confused. I'm confused, OP. The first thing he said when I walked in was, I don't think we should do it. Considering I had been thinking about this all week, I wasn't really sure what it was. He expressed that he didn't think we should get back together. That he felt like it was a great time, but he wants to look at it as a party thing. Okay, so he's a jerk. He only sees you as a nice hookup and not as like a future partner.
I do want to give him some benefit of the doubt because this just seems like a crazy situation. And I want to know, like, if OP's being a reliable narrator in that things actually had that chemistry or if she's just had that chemistry.
I don't know. I feel like OP just overthinks. It's like exhausting. It's exhausting trying to like relate to it.
This is your definitive answer now, though. Do not try to date this man. We're gonna maybe we need some therapy. We need to let this man go, move on,
and don't be like, oh, we're gonna be friends now, but later when he's done having fun with all these other people, we will come back. Don't wait up. Go live your life. Who cares? If you end up together later on in life, cool.
Don't even have that as a thought.
Yeah,
it's spiraling you.
Exactly. It's like, I just want him in my life. I want him in my life. Okay.
Honestly, I don't even know if he should be in your life as a friend if this is how it's going to keep going.
That's true. I told him straight up that I had a great time, but didn't look at things that way. That I don't tell hookups that I see myself marrying them or talk about raising kids. He agreed and apologized. I said that he didn't need to apologize, and the only reason he should is if he only said that so that he could get laid. He said he didn't. At this point, I told him that I was really confused. I mean, that first night, he was the one who said he wanted to just be really close friends again, but then ended up making a move on me. And I know we were wasted, but he has never expressed things that deep, even when we were dating. I mentioned all of this to him, and he agreed and said that he still thinks it could be us, but that in the end, it's probably more about our timing. I agreed, but still, I don't want him to only love me when he's lonely and vice versa. I don't want us to be each other's backup plan. I told him this, and he said I was never a backup plan to him, and that he feels like he compares every romantic relationship to us, but that he can't make any promises for the future. Translation, I think he just wants me on the hook and doesn't want to eliminate his options. By the way, you better keep your options open to listening to full episodes with stories just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast app and just search OK Storytime. There's a little bit left.
I think you guys should stop talking to each other.
Yeah. I just feel like this is so toxic in like not getting a definitive answer and you just like sitting in limbo for like who knows how long. You don't know because he doesn't give you a time frame. And not that he has to, but it's like neither of you are willing to be like, I want to do this or I don't want to do this. So like one of you has to be the bigger person and just make a decision already. And if that makes you a bad guy, who cares? At least you made a decision and stuck with it. Like then you wouldn't have to be in this weird questioning state all the time. Like that's more exhausting than just either being with him or not being with him. Truthfully, I'm pretty frustrated by everything. Mainly because I know him and feel like I know what he's going to do next. It sucks being so close that he's this predictable. He has a Reddit account and it wouldn't surprise me if he reads this. Regardless, I'll be fine. Probably going to be sad and write a song and then move forward. There's more I wish I would have said to him, though. I can't help thinking that this man will either be the person that I marry or he'll watch me marry someone else.
Ah!
You know, that's usually what happens. Not to like throw away your utopia, but
But that's like the risks of dating.
Yep.
Like,
it's either that's why people have exes, because guess what, it didn't work out, and then that's why, you know, then you be with someone different, and then maybe you end up marrying them, maybe you don't, and then, you know, those people will be like, they're married.
both in a delusion land. Here's another option. You don't have to watch him get married to someone else or him watch you get married to someone else, because you don't have to be friends anymore.
That's also a freaking option.
You can just have a breakup, finally. 'Cause you're like pseudo dating.
I wonder if he's thought about that and how it would make him feel. And that's the end.
I literally don't care how it would make him feel, because it's making you crazy. So
Yeah.
you need to stop.
OP, focus on like what you want. If you want to do it, then be like, oh, I want to do it. And if he says no, then be like, okay.
He already said no.
Yeah, exactly. And so just move on then. Just be like, okay, well, this is what I want. And if it's not going to work with you, guess what? It can probably work with the like 7 other billion people that live on this planet.
My best friend is facing karma, but her mom thinks I should fix it.
Not my life, not my problem.
I want to start off by saying the situation is pretty much done, but I am unsure if I did the right thing or if I was being spiteful. By the way, this comes from No Increase 2286. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Carly.
I'm Savannah.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do. Let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, background. I moved to a new state about 7 hours from my hometown. I, 20 female, met a few new people, but I mostly connected with the woman from work, 20 female. And she and I hung out every day for 3 months. Her family met mine. Our siblings became friends. Our moms became friends. But my friend, let's call her Daisy, moved to a different department. And that department had a lot of her childhood friends. I did not connect with them. I kept it strictly professional. Even if we didn't work here, I would not want to be friends with them in real life, not my crowd. Daisy began kind of isolating me. Like if I said something, she would say something sarcastic to get a laugh from others. Then came a weekend, I went home, and Daisy was already at my house, telling my mom about things I did or said in the office. I'm gonna be straight up. The second that we found out that Daisy's friends from childhood weren't a crowd that we liked, we might have started assuming that Daisy was part of that crowd.
I would assume that.
I don't have a good relationship with my mom. Another post for another day. They were rude and talked about how I am so uppity at work and started dating this musician. Sure, I guess. But then it was like something clicked. And after that, she began doing things out loud. Like saying, I already took your mom. Now watch me take your boyfriend. Which she did?
Whoa! Whoa, what? That's crazy. Who is this witch?
We're not friends with Daisy anymore, right?
No, screw her. Daisy, more like lazy.
He and I broke up because he felt he was getting more attention from other girls, even though he knew those girls didn't like me. So I told him I'm glad he told me about it, and I left it alone immediately, like pretend he didn't exist anymore. They dated for 3 to 4 days, and she said she hated the way he kissed. She spread pictures of him. Well, that's illegal.
Huh? Why? I don't like the way you kiss. I'm gonna ruin your life now.
And embarrassed him really bad. The following week, he was like, let's get back together, and did a whole public gesture just to get publicly denied.
This guy, he's a hopeless romantic.
It hurt him, but another day for that story as well. Here is where I need advice. When she did this, it was to make me feel isolated, or she hated me. I don't know for sure. But this made her friends disgusted. They began calling her a sleut and other derogatory names. She was picked on. She was isolated. She was complained on for trivial things like turning in assignments an hour late or not filing things correctly. And instead of just telling her, they would complain to management. They started calling her the town pass-around. See, do I think she's a terrible person for what she did? In a lot of ways, yeah. Do I think that you should, like, ruin someone's career over it?
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I don't think so. I don't think you need to, like,
Like, it was bad, but I don't think that it should be career ruining.
yeah, like, of course, like, I don't agree with what she did, and I think that's, like, a really crappy move, but, that's a whole separate thing from work, and, like, the fact that, like, they're going to, like, the manager and being like, oh, she's not doing this, blah, blah, blah,
And
when they
all
could just
around
tell her.
town.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just like, leave her to be a miserable person on her own. We can just, like, all forget her, and that's karma enough to me in a lot of ways.
Yeah, truly.
If she did something a lot worse, my opinion might change, but
I agree.
this is bad, not career ending. Just really giving her a hard time. The girls even came to me to tell me they support me. Even though I told them all the things they were doing was not cool and I don't agree. And one specific friend asked in front of everyone and Daisy, so you don't think Daisy is a witch? Or do you forgive her? I said, I don't know if she is anything, but I will say she is not my friend. Daisy came to my house with her mom, and our moms talked in the kitchen, and I went to my room. Daisy attempted to talk, but I told her guests stay in the living room, and she couldn't go to the game room either. My siblings were playing in there, and they hate her. Well, Daisy's mom came to my room and attempted to talk about what happened and how sorry Daisy is, and she is having nightmares. My mom noticed and came to my room. My mom mentioned how Daisy was no longer giving updates. She told me in front of Daisy that she wants to know everything I do, and she will make me friends with her to know everything I'm doing. So the fact that Daisy wasn't giving her updates, she felt like she was being a better friend to me, but really Daisy wanted me to not be mad anymore. Daisy asked if I was happy to have her friends, and now her mom thinks she's a witch. I told her I didn't want her friends because they would eventually treat me like her, and they weren't true friends to anybody. I told her she made her bed, and I don't care if she's having nightmares or sweet dreams in her. Daisy moved jobs. I didn't notice. I thought she was still calling in to not face everyone. Her mom, my mom, and Daisy basically begged me to publicly announce that I forgive her and try to trust her again. I said no. They said that it was not fair for me to let people publicly shame her, and it was just her being a little jealous, and I don't even like those girls. It's not her being a little jealous. She literally stole your boyfriend and then spread pictures of him around. Like, that's not, no. There are consequences.
And then also going to your family and being like, oh, like me and your mom are BFFs.
Right. I'm
like,
gonna steal your boyfriend.
yeah, like I'm going to tell her everything you do since you don't tell her anything.
Crazy. When you don't have a good relationship with your mother.
Yeah, like what? Like, I don't know what you want from me.
Why are we not going to the friends and being like, hey, you guys are the ones doing this?
Right?
Like, OP is not doing this.
Yeah, OP, like, was kind of just, like, caught in the middle of, like, her whole, like, scheme. And then now her friends are, like, taking OP's side. But OP's like, I'm not on a side. I'm just trying to live my life. Why is this girl here?
I don't want to talk to any of you. I said, well, she got the chaos she wanted. Daisy broke down crying, and I punted them all out of my room for bad vibes. This was months ago. I have blocked them all and have not spoken to my mother for other reasons. But by the way, you guys can never stop speaking to us because there's always new full episodes with stories just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcasts. Search up OK Storytime. We've got just a little bit left, but girly, good on you for just distancing from it.
Yeah, I mean, good for you, OP, for not getting involved and, like, getting back into her web and her drama and whatever. Like, it just seems like she just, it's like those people that are bad people, but, like, if you call them out as a bad person, they're like, what? No, I'm not. And then they're like, tell everyone that I'm not. And it's like, no, because you are. What? No, no one can know that. Only I know that. You have to tell everyone that I'm a good person. It's like, actually, I don't have to do anything because you did this to yourself.
She just reached out to me again because people at her new job have heard about everything. Small world. She is asking to hang out and try to earn my trust back. Should I just say I forgive her, or am I being spiteful? I don't forgive her because she did this for laughs and not because I did anything to her. I do feel sorry for her, though. She is being shamed over something so small, and I don't even care that bad. I have no attachment to this place. I'm actually leaving soon. Should I make sure she is okay before I leave? I don't think so. I don't think that, like, I don't think she spread that man's private pictures around. Like, that's not just laughs and not, like, small and nothing to care about. Like, even if she didn't do something to you, she did do stuff that has, like, potential large consequences. And she did still do stuff to you. You're just really chill about it for some reason.
Yeah. I don't think that you're the a-hole for not forgiving her. I don't even think it's like out of spite. I think it's like you just don't want to deal with it because you're not her friend and she like really wants to be friends with you because I think like everyone views you as like her position that she once had in like the group. And so she's like, I want to get that back. So if I can, get her to be friends with me, then she can tell everyone that I'm not this bad person. And it's like, but you did this to yourself though. I didn't like tear you down and make you go out with my boyfriend and like be friends with my mom and then send all these pictures of my ex like out to people. Like I didn't tell you, I didn't force you to do all that. You did that on your own. And then because I was like involved with him before, it's somehow becoming my problem. But I don't even talk to this guy, and guess what? I don't even talk to you either. So like I don't understand what the issue is here with her. Like she just really, really needs that reassurance of like she needs to go to therapy, honestly. I refused to go to my friend's wedding. Then everyone else did too.
What did your friend do?
I, 51 female, have been best friends with Greta, 51 female, along with her twin sister, Grace, since high school. For 30 years, we have been the Three Musketeers. By the way, this comes from away ad 7700, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Savannah.
I'm Carly.
And we are here to give some good advice, yet goofily. We don't have all the answers. We can only tell you what we would do in this situation. So let us know what you would do down in them comments. As OP says, Greta has been married and divorced 3 times and has 1 son from her first marriage. None of the marriages have been healthy, but nonetheless, I have never wavered with my support of her. Until now. 4 years ago, she met Kyle on a dating site. They began dating, but he was upfront that he never wanted to get married again. He was married 1 time with 4 kids.
Oh my god.
He has a good steady job, which is literally the only good thing I can say about him. Ooh.
That's rough.
So that's already a red flag. Every year she moves out for a week or so because she gets tired of being ignored and put down. He tells her to get over it. He has poker nights with his devil's lettuce buddies, to which he is the dealer. It is still illegal in our state. He comes to bed in the middle of the night, sleeps till noon on the weekends, and really just does his own thing. If she's okay living like that, so be it. My biggest issue is that Greta has health issues. She has terrible asthma. He smokes many things in the house and doesn't care. She has bad stomach issues and has also gone to the ER for chest pains. Her twin always has to drive an hour to take her to the ER because he refuses to go. Why?
So this man is just the absolute worst.
Yeah, so he just doesn't care about you. Cool. Bye. He tells her she just wants attention. Well, one of these times, it was a heart attack.
Oh my god. Ah.
So she's like, I can't breathe. I'm having a heart. It hurts my chest. And he's like, all right, I guess I'll call your sister. Drama queen.
Like, I'll call your sister. You can wait an hour for her to drive here to take you to the ER.
All right? Okay, guy.
Crazy.
Thanks. He clearly doesn't care because she's been back to the ER 2 times and he can't be bothered. He is emotionally harmful, puts her down constantly, especially making comments about her weight. I will come back to this. Or just ignoring her. The last time they broke up, I flat out told her my feelings about him and that I had hoped she was really done because he is a piece of crap and she deserves someone who will treat her nicely and actually respects her. I found out a week later from her twin that they were back together. I assumed it would happen. After the trauma from all her exes, she has become used to being disrespected. Ugh, that's so sad. She is also very codependent. Used to being disrespected and also being codependent are like 2 of the worst qualities like put together. That's like just a recipe for disaster. And of course people are going to take advantage of you because you're not going anywhere. He can do anything he wants. You're not going to leave. Or if you do, you leave for a week and you come back. Like, you're just letting him get away with everything. That's not okay. Well, this time she convinced him to marry her. I asked her why they need to get married. Can't she just live with him because inevitably they will break up again and then she has to pay for yet another divorce? I told her I loved her, but I will not support this and to please not bring his name up around me. I know I hurt her by saying this, but I truly loathe him. Well, she gets to planning the wedding and keeps asking me to be a bridesmaid, to which I finally give in and decide to put my anger aside, get on board, and just do it. I wasn't going to let this piece of crap ruin a lifelong friendship. I started getting into all the planning with her and Grace, and it was fun. About a month later, she told me that Kyle had mentioned asking his 6-year-old daughter to be a bridesmaid along with Grace's 2 daughters in their 20s, and me. The problem being that there were only 4 groomsmen, so I wasn't needed now. I told her that was fine. It was her day. I didn't really want to do it anyways, but my feelings were hurt. Now let me introduce Millie. She also graduated with us, but she isn't close like the twins like she is with me. But they are all friendly. We all meet up for some shopping and lunch one day. Greta and Millie end up in a separate aisle from Grace and I, and Millie also asked why do they need to get married and not just live together. Millie tells me about this convo later on. She has known about Kyle because she asked about the twins, and I've always told her when I'm relieved she broke up with him. Then to have to tell her they are back together. Anyway, the guy that I had been seeing, we broke up. So I was going to be coming solo to the wedding and dreading it. Millie offered to be my date if I didn't have another one by then because she didn't want me to feel awkward at the reception. Let me also add that I dated their brother for 3 years and he would be there with his wife. I don't have a problem with this, but he is always uncomfortable, so I don't sit with the family. I mentioned this to Grace, who in turn told Greta, who sent me a really long message about how Millie was not welcome. Oh. She gave me a +1, so I asked, what was the big deal about who came with me? It was all because she asked her, why does she need to get married again? I told her that was nothing that I haven't asked her myself many times, and she wasn't asking to be rude, she was just curious. This ended with a big argument over text, and at the end of it, I told her I was done arguing and would just take myself out of the equation and not attend the wedding at all since I was no longer needed anyway. This has lifted a huge weight off my shoulders. I have seen Greta a couple of times since then. We try to be as close as we were, but it's strained. She mentioned now that I was seeing somebody, maybe I could bring him to the wedding in June. And I just looked at her and said, we're not talking about that anymore. She said, okay. I did find out that she's been telling people that I'm not coming because it's awkward because of her brother being there, which is absolutely not true. I've been to other family events with him there, but if that's her story, that's fine. So, am I the a-hole for not going to my friend's wedding? I wrote this a while ago but never posted, so here's the next section. Oh, there's an update.
I don't want to call you an a-hole, but I do think that you might just need to suck it up and go support your friend even if you're going alone. Because even though you've been there and you've been putting up with just this crappy man, this might be a time that she really, really needs you. And ultimately you're not saying that the reason is because of her crappy fiance. If you had said that, I might have been a little bit more okay, I can maybe get on board for that, but maybe support your friend. But just because you can't have a +1 for your comfort, I think it's more about in that moment being there for a friend who's going through it and is committing to going through it for some crazy reason.
All right, let's get into the update. While she has had a lot of legit health issues, Greta has started getting bothered and nervous by everything. She had mentioned a lump on her back. The 3 of us, Greta, Grace, and I, were visiting their mom for lunch right after Christmas, and she asked her mom to feel it. Her mom told her, and I quote, "Honey, that is just a roll from where your bra is." Apparently that evening, Kyle sent their mom a text telling her that she hurt Greta's feelings by calling her fat and continued to go off on her. Her mom was devastated. She was crying and sent Greta a text saying she couldn't believe that Kyle had texted that to her after everything he himself has called her. Her mom told her that she would no longer be attending her wedding. By the way, you can have perfect attendance with us by listening to full episodes with stories just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast app, and just search up OK Storytime.
See, now, like, I don't think her backing out is because you backed out. Like, I don't think those two things are related. So if they spin this on you, like, that's not you.
Yeah, if they try to spin it and be like, oh, you're just backing out because, OP got to you or blah, blah, blah. And it's like, what?
I'm backing out because your fiance sucks.
Yeah, because he's being a little mean.
Yeah. Best case scenario, whole wedding gets called off. He sounds terrible.
She called Grace sobbing and told her about the text from Kyle. She was livid and also texted Greta that she would not be maid of honor or be at the wedding, nor was her husband or their dad coming.
Dang.
Okay, so like your whole family doesn't agree with this, girl. Grace's daughters, in turn, also texted their aunt saying, Grandma didn't call you fat. Kyle is the only one who has ever called you fat. We will not be bridesmaids and will not be at the wedding. Okay, that's crazy to like have the entire family involved, like with like the cousins, aunts, uncles, something. Like, I mean,
I see a whole different story now.
yeah, now this is family drama.
It's a family drama.
I thought this was boyfriend troubles. Their brother and his wife have backed out as well. I found out yesterday from her sister that a friend of theirs that they've known also since right after high school is now going to be the maid of honor, but offered to step back if Grace decided to do it herself. She told me she won't. Just like me, she is relieved to not even be going. The only guilt I feel is from the regret that our friendship will never be the same now. Am I a terrible person?
You didn't do the whole family leaving thing. That you didn't do that.
It seems like Kyle is manipulating you and making you feel like, all your family's attacking you and blah, blah, blah. And I'm the only good thing in your life and you need to get rid of all of them and just be with me and all this stuff. Like, this just feels like it's very manipulative and not a very good relationship. It already was toxic from the beginning. It's not going to get better after marriage. I just think you need to get rid of this guy. But I know that this is not Greta's story. This is OP's story. OP, I mean, I don't know. I don't
know that there's anything you can do until she comes to terms with it on her own kind of thing. If you're willing and able to still just be there to support her through it all, I'm sure that would be helpful. But I can also understand you hitting a breaking point and being like, can't do that, can't be here anymore. And that's okay too.